Chairman. Thank you very much for your leadership as well, Ranking Member Crowe, and to all of the staff members who did all of the work that has produced this really important set of recommendations and findings. I thank you as well. Thank you, Acting Director Rowe, too, for the conversation today. I have two lines of questions, and I am, frankly, going to focus on some of the technology that I think is essential for us to be able to make sure this kind of happen again. For roughly 11 minutes on July 13th, Mr. Crooks was able to fly a drone near the site of the Butler rally. The Secret Service equipment, as we all know now, that could have tracked it perhaps back to its origin wasn't functioning at the time of the flight. And you have testified in the U.S. Senate hearing that had the U.S. Secret Service counter-drone equipment been working probably, quote, you may have possibly been able to stop Crooks. We've also learned that requests from the agent responsible for the counter-drone equipment for increased counter-unmanned aerial systems capabilities and earlier access were denied as well. So several times today, and actually in your opening remarks, you talked a little bit about the different ways that state and local and you all work together in making sure that these locations are secured and your protectees are protected. But right now, state and local law enforcement don't have the legal authority to operate counter-drone equipment to advance detection or mitigation. And actually, interestingly, in your opening remarks, you made a reference to the fact that you felt as though that might be something that they should have the ability to do. Would it have been useful if state and local law enforcement had additional capabilities and legal authorities to be able to conduct counter-drone detection and mitigation to support the Secret Service, sir?
I do, with proper coordination with FAA.
Thank you. That's my first question. And there is several ideas in this Congress that are bouncing around to be able to give you those authorities, and I would love it if I could ask for your support in helping make sure that that happens. My next set of questions has to do with some of the testimony that we had in our first hearing, where I'm, unlike some folks here, my background is in engineering, and I focus a lot on emerging threats, cybersecurity, biotechnology, and biothreats. And I'm struck by the fact that we're kind of always trying to solve for the last problem that we had, and the last problem that we had was a sniper on a rooftop. And obviously things are evolving, threats are evolving, and your kind of needs to evolve alongside it. Representative Joyce talked a little bit about the appropriations process, and you talked a little bit about the Office of Protective Research that sounds like is now defunct. What kinds of things are you doing, and what kinds of things can Congress be doing to help you stay abreast of those kinds of emerging threats, to make sure that you can coordinate with DOD and with DARPA and those kinds of things, so we're not kind of constantly reinventing the wheel on this? What can we be doing to help, and what are you doing as well?
So definitely, and again, obviously the color of money, right? O&S money is fantastic, but PC&I money to be able to go out and acquire things is critical for us. It's critical for the Secret Service. We've certainly had challenges with getting enough PC&I money through the years. That's a separate conversation. But being able to have an applied research element within the Secret Service, going to be able to have us regularly now go out and interface with all these other entities, the private sector, Silicon Valley, others that are doing innovative things that can be helpful to us. Because it's not just about physical protection, it's cyber protection as well.
Absolutely, and to the degree that we can continue to be helpful with that and helping you with the color of money and making sure that you have those resources, please do let us know. And also, I think one of the things that I was struck by when we were investigating, trying to understand what had happened, is we were able to see a kind of a creation of what his drone saw, and what the angles, sight lines and things were. And I was struck by the fact that this was kind of the first time that we thought about those kinds of things, at least on this side of the world. And I'm certain that there are a lot of technologies and ideas that are maybe on DOD side or other places where you all can benefit from these, and FBI as well can benefit from the kind of work that DOD is already doing. With the last couple seconds that I have, training for the guy who didn't know how to fix the drone. What are we doing to make sure that that doesn't happen again?
So we've actually established an airspace and aviation section. So now they are the folks that go out and are primarily responsible for all of the counter-UAS and all of the enabling UAS. And so now that we have a direct hiring authority, we have this ability now, thanks to OPM, they were very cooperative, we can go out and hire drone operators. You can fly them remotely from Washington if you need to. My goal is to get more drone operators and people with this expertise downrange in the field so that they can go out and do this and are there on the ground. And that's going to help us fly drones and identify line of sight vulnerabilities, get that eye in the sky perspective as we're doing our advance.
Thank you. I yield back. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ms. Houlahan. Now recognize Representative Lee from Florida for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Director Rowe, for being here with us today. As is evident by today's hearing and will also be